DAO Watch episode 35. In this episode, we are going to be covering Dupe, who have got their first actual vote in 3 months. We're also going to be covering Arbitrum. It's not actually a proposal, but this one is a very, very interesting way of running things, which I think is something that other projects should copy, and I just want to show it. And finally, we will be showing, going over Cosmos. Very, very interesting proposal there, which really tugs at my own personal heartstrings, and hopefully it does yours too. I'll give you a little sneak spoiler. It's about privacy. That's the only reason why I care. Please make sure you like, subscribe, all that other good stuff. And without any further ado, this is episode 35 of DAO Watch. Hello and welcome to DAO Watch episode 35. I am your host, Cryptosi. We are going to try to start smashing these out weekly. I don't know how long this is going to last, but you know, three projects that we're going to be looking at this week, and they are Jupiter, which we will start with, which is a DEX on Solana. We will then move on to Arbitrum, which is a L2, EVM, Ethereum style L2. And we will be rounding up with Cosmos, which is an L1 and the home of the IBC. Three pretty big projects this month. We've got no Dash nor PivX this month. Almost considered getting back into PivX, but not yet. So let's get started, and let's get started with Jupiter, shall we? So Jupiter are in the very strange position that they haven't had a single proposal in the last 3 months. Although Jupiter is a DAO, it's a very strangely run DAO in which basically they have a centralized team which put forward proposals that the community vote on. And the team do respect the community's point of view, but it's not quite an open DAO in the classic sense. This is not really a reason to fade it. I've been involved with Jupiter DAO from the sidelines. I basically only vote, but I'm gonna start to really get more involved as we start to move this whole DAO Watch process onto the next stage. So anyway, let's look at this first proposal, which is Jupiter. Okay, so here we go. So the Jupiter proposal is to update the Jupiter logo. The first thing they come back and say, it's been 3 months, which is a quarter of a year. So it's been an entire season since they've had a vote. Since then, they've had major dupe distribution, Jupiter number 2. Yes, that's true. Q4's ASR claiming goes towards existing voters. That's true. So if you vote Jupiter, you do get rewarded for it. And they've also had Istanbul, which was their first ever in-person meetup in Istanbul, which they rightfully renamed Istanbul. I didn't manage to get there. I wanted to go, but you know, life got in the way. So before any upcoming votes for the rest of Q1 2025, which has only got 1 month left, Jupiter team has proposed a fun logo vote to rally the community and welcome new voters to the DAO. Now, this, I think, is a great idea. People may not know how to vote. They've got probably quite a few new users since the last vote, and hopefully this will be a fun way for them to get involved. Okay, so you vote yes to update the new logo to the Istanbul themed logo, or vote no to maintain the existing logo. Revisit this later. So here's the logo up here. As you can see, that's the logo up in the top left corner. Let me point to it. That way. That's that way. Up there, that corner. So let's look at these proposed. Let's look at these let's look at these logos. Okay, so it comes from Soju, and he starts off with some chit chat, and here we go. So here are the two logos. So vote yes, and you get this cat themed logo, or you vote no, and you retain the old logo. Now, when I first saw this, of course, I thought, well, there's not much difference between the two logos, and I was absolutely right. I guess this one's kind of cat themed. Somebody does have a little jibe at it and say that it looks a bit more like a teddy bear than a cat. But I guess cat theme is okay. So yeah, it's, depends what you think. But the vote is basically to decide which one. The reason why everybody definitely should vote is because you will be rewarded if you are staking your dupe. I don't have a tutorial on how to stake your dupe, but I will make one. So people come in, they start chatting. This guy says he's for the old logo, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. I hope that there is. Not personally a fan of the new logo. I voted new logo. Old is gold. Oh, so seems like a lot of people don't want it to change. Okay, so what's the pros and cons of this? The pros are that they are finally getting some. So the pros are that they are finally getting some interaction with the DAO. It's been a while, but luckily they're getting some interaction. People are getting to know each other. People are getting to chat. This is community coming together. This is community strengthening this community, getting to know each other. It's interesting that straight off the back of Catstonbull, they had this vote, and hopefully there will be some people who went to Catstonbull here doing voting and doing some good old-fashioned cult labor. So I'd say that's probably the main pro to this. The difference in the two logos, as I showed before, is it's minimal. This guy says that he's gone through all the trouble of creating this to show that bears have round ears and cats have pointy ears, and that is clearly a bear. I'm not that fussed. It just goes to show how really stuck people are for interactions with the DAO, nothing having happened. Okay, so from a marketing perspective, we have to keep the original logo. We need an important technical reason to change part of the brand. Catstonbull's epic and fun, but not a reason to change the logo. Maybe as a temporal thing during the next year's event. And the cons, it's potentially a little bit bad for the brand changing. I think that the proposal itself, there's nothing to it really. It's very, very concise. I normally like when proposals are nice and concise. This one's very concise. It's just a bit of fun. How do I feel? One thing I would say is that in the proposal, there's not much really in guiding advice as to the pros and cons of either logo change. We don't really know. It doesn't also say how long it will take for the logo change to come into effect or anything like that. It's just a bit of fun. So for me, it's a yes, simply because I like Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet, but I do like this cat theme, and I think it's fun. So not to take ourselves too seriously, for me, this one is a yes. But let me know what you think. Do you think that it should be the new cat logo, which looks a bit like a bear, or the old planet logo, which looked a bit like a football? Let me know. What do you think of Jupiter DAO? Do you think they should have votes more than once every 3 months? Let me know in the comments. Why not? And let's move on to our next proposal, which will be Arbitrum. Okay, so this is not really where I should start. Let's start with the proposal itself. Well, it's not so much a proposal, it's more a recap. Now, the reason why I wanted to show this, although it's not a proposal, is because I just wanted to show what decentralized autonomous organization incentives done right looks like. Arbitrum are really starting to catch the mighty Dash and the also mighty PivX when it comes to DAO activity. Of course, they've got more people in their DAO than the previous two, but they're a lot younger. But what they have done, which I think is really good, is they've actually got a delegate system in place, which means that people who vote don't have to actually go through all the votes, which is really bad for people like me who are in multiple DAOs. But also they've gone so far as to have the delegates be incentivized to join calls, to vote, and also to give explanations as to why they voted in a certain way. Once they've done all of these things, they will be given a payment, and the payout is in a stable coin, and it is quite considerable, even here in the developed world or the United Kingdom. And I definitely think it will be worthwhile for people who are in the emerging world to come and start getting involved in this sort of work, because it's brilliant, right? And the more people they get from various corners of the world and various socioeconomic backgrounds, the better, the more efficient the actual DAO will become. I know DEI is a dirty word at the moment, but you know, this is just corporate management 101. You know, the more diverse your team, the better at problem solving they're going to be. So let's just let you know how it works, basically. So here's how the parameters break down. I will put a link to this in the description. Communication rationale, you put down your communication, and then they've got a dashboard even where you can actually get a feedback of your work. I'm not sure if this is done by let's pick a guy at random, not Gauntlet, because they don't vote on anything. I'm not sure if this is done by AI or not, because I'm not sure who can vote, who can tell you whether your rationale is valid or not. Seems that they've all seemed to be given valid rationales. Rationale. So yeah, so every proposal they come out with a pretty big rationale. It's pretty good. It's really good, in fact. Then you get a much better idea of who you're going to delegate to and why. I have said a lot of times that I'm going to become a delegate on one of these platforms, one of these chains, and I really do think it is time now. Of course, I've got this video platform to share my views, so people will understand why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking, or even how I'm getting there. And I guess I could also use the channel to upload recordings of the calls that they have, because I can't find the recordings anywhere else. So there's a presence in a discussion multiplier as well. So if you're present in the discussions on various things, grant misuse bounty program, nope. What one looks interesting? Let's look at the Polis. Oh, okay. So this is a hackathon project, a decentralized version of Polis. I guess they came through to say that they're willing to create the Polis and use it on Arbitrum. This is really interesting. When was this? This was only January. I don't know. I don't know if this proposal went forward or not. I don't know if it's done yet. But this will be an interesting proposal. Anyway, the all of the delegates come down here and they all start chatting, and they help the people put these proposals, and they help the people make the proposals worthwhile. This is excellent, because what this means is that when people do bring in proposals, the delegates are actually incentivized to get involved and help craft proposals. You're going to end up with much better proposals on the Arbitrum network than you get anywhere else. You're also going to end up with a lot more collaboration between teams coming in, because one of these delegates is going to be able to gel with the new team coming in, and they're going to be able to show them around and help them. So for me, this really is, I would say, one of the best examples of DAO governance done correctly. I think it's something that a lot of other projects could learn from. It is expensive. I can show you that the actual cost of this system. So there's 3 tiers. The top tier, they get paid over, well, $6,000, give or take, up to $7,000. The bottom tier, which is the 3rd tier, they get around $3,000, and this is monthly. So this works out to be a decent wage, just about livable in the United Kingdom, I'd say. But it's something you could do as a younger person, and I'm assuming it's not quite full time either, but we'll see. And they've got a payout distribution thread. Let's have a quick look at that. November's first batch payment, 4th of July, Arbitrum. So yeah, so there's the payouts that have gone. For better transparency, there are the bonus points, and these are the new members who are coming in. What was that? I wanted to show you the calls. Okay, so these are the calls that they have. Overall, it's excellent. What are the cons? What are the cons of a system like this? It can be quite wordy, and it doesn't seem like they've got a video alternative. What I would love to see would be possibly a video recap of what's happened during the month. I may even make that myself, just say people have got it in a different format, a format that they can listen to whilst they're driving or whatever, a format that they can listen to whilst they're at the gym, whilst they're on the bike, exercise bike, which is what I like to do. And yeah, I think this is great. That's the only con, is that they've only got it in written form. That's literally the only, and I'm clutching at straws here. So well done to SeedGov for organizing this. Pretty awesome. There are some disputes here. Generally, I think from people who have not been paid. Okay, well, I'm not going to go into each one of these. So that's someone else's job. So yeah, for me, I think it's brilliant. I love it. And yeah, long may it continue. Hopefully before long, I will click this little login button and I will be in there helping these guys to really flesh out some great proposals and push the ecosystem forward. So that's that one. And we're going to move on to our final proposal now, which will be Cosmos. And this one is phenomenal. Okay, so final proposal, let's get into it. This one is a community pool spend for StarShuffler DAPP. Now, those of you who know, I come from a DAO stroke privacy background, whereby I was working in PivX, which is a privacy coin, for some years. And to me, privacy is extremely important. This is for Cosmos, which is a IBC chain with a different smart contract set up than Ethereum, to have its own privacy protocol, which will rival Tornado Cash, as I understand it. So it's called StarShuffler DAPP, and it's been put forward by a developer, I guess, called Resonant. It doesn't say if he's a team or a one-man band. I'm assuming he's a one-man band. He does seem to say I more than we. I haven't gotten a response from Mag, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he's put forward this proposal. Proposal's pretty concise, although it is spread across a few different posts, which doesn't often help. The good thing is he has linked to the other posts, which I really appreciate. He is asking for 3,300 Atom, which at the time of writing is around $15,000. So I'm going to have $15,000 to build this Tornado Cash rival, which will allow anybody on Atom to plug their money in and get private money out. It is on the Atom chain, which gives it ultimate privacy. There was some really bad takes, technically really bad takes later on in this discussion about moving it across the IBC to other chains and getting the privacy done there. Unfortunately, it does look like this one is not going to pass at the moment. There is quite a lot of time left to go, and I really do hope this proposal passes, but I don't want to give you I shouldn't be giving you my answers as yet. So the proposal is here. This I don't like. It's a little bit, the formatting is a little bit off, but he explains quite concisely what he will do. Create a smart contract, develop a minimal front end to interact with the contract. For 15K, I'd expect a quite nice front end, not a minimal front end. Build a relayer and making a relayer deployable as Docker container for self-hosting or a cache deployments for privacy. I think that's great. I think you can have I wonder if you can. He's worried about front end. Never mind. This is not the time nor the place for technical breakdowns. Okay, so he wants to use a milestone system, which I also like. And he's also shared what the milestones will be, how long they'll take. He thinks it'll take about 2 months to create it on Juno. So he wants to create it on Juno first. Once it's created and finished on Juno, he wants to move it over to Cosmos. I'm not sure if that's because he doesn't believe Cosmos testnet is worthy. Port the smart contract onto Atom will be the next thing. It'll take about 2 weeks. But it won't be able to be done until they've done permissionless CosmWasm, which I'm assuming they don't yet have. I thought they had, but I guess they don't. Add support for multi-amount pools, so different denominations. So you can put in 100s, 1000s. How it works basically is you put in different denominations, like imagine they're like notes. So you put in 100 Atom, 1000 Atom, or 10 Atom, and then you take out your 1000 Atom, 100 Atom, and 10 Atom. So you get your money back. So say you wanted to put in 3,300, you put in one lot of 1000 and 3 lots of 100. You then would be given like a hash, which is your kind of like your password to say that the pool owes you money. You can then go back to the pool and take out this money from a different address. It's basically mixing. And the reason why it works is because it's got the denominations. The reason why it's not, I don't think it's quite zero knowledge, is because all of the tokens in the pool do have some history. Whereas with zero knowledge, all you would know is that the coin came out of the pool, or was newly created at your address. They would be newly created at your address with true zero knowledge. Anyway, that's all by the by. What did happen during this proposal, or during him trying to get this proposal done, was that he was supposed to get Mag to be, or Barry to be, proxies for the milestones. They were going to hold the money that was paid out. They backed off because it was a privacy thing and they got scared. That's really annoyed me, because if that's the case, step down. If that's the case, step down, because we've already had the Tornado Cash and those people be arrested. However, the Americans have now said that that was not lawful. So you can't still be being scared. And if you are scared, don't do this job. Leave it to somebody who's not scared, because that's annoying if you're just holding everybody up. Anyway, Mag, you jerk, and Barry, you wazzock. So he had that problem. Then he had to remove the the proxy, so the payments would just go straight to him, which introduces a whole heap of other problems and may well be the reason why the vote's not passing. So he's gone through that. He's given all his thing. I like the proposal. It's nice and concise. It says exactly what he's doing. He's given milestones. It makes sense. And the amount he's asking for, 15K, is not too much. It's just a brilliant proposal all in all, and it should pass. But then we've got some people. That was a good concept, a good question, stroke, nudge. But where was the one that there was one that really irked me? Yeah, somebody voted no, and they said it's not suitable for pool funding. They should work with AA, DAO, or Interchain Labs. That's stupid, because what if AA, DAO, or Interchain Labs don't want to work with this guy? Then you can bring it to the community. You can't say no because you don't like the fact that it's coming from that particular. That's stupid. It's a community pool. The community want a DAPP. The community can pay for a DAPP. Anyway, I understand the logic, but it's wrong. That's not a reason to vote no. You vote on the merits. If you don't like the fact that it's been brought there and you don't think that it should be brought there, then you abstain. You don't vote no. Here we go. Great. Support this proposal. I want to see. Yes, I think this was it. John Montague. He's saying, how does this match with Penumbra and Secret? Why would you use StarShuffler instead of the incumbents? Then he goes over and he says it, and he was tried his hardest not to be rude. But in reality, so what if there are incumbents? What we got to say is the idea saturated? Is it something that either exists already in the exact form, which it doesn't? Having to move my tokens across IBC to do it is simply a non-starter for a lot of things. It could be a feature in a DAPP that wants privacy. If it's a feature in a DAPP, I can't move it across chain. And this, we also have to ask, does this John Montague have a Citadel One? Are they invested in Penumbra or Secret? Let's see. Citadel One. I'm quite sure they're a VC. Citadel One. I know Secret. Email. Secret Network landing page by Citadel One. Citadel One feature overview, Secret Network. Yeah. So unsurprisingly, it seems like Citadel One have got some kind of vested interest in Secret Network and a conflict of interest, of course. Now, I hope that they did not vote. I bet you I think they said they were voting no, but they should say they're not going to vote. Hey, Montague's answered, in my opinion. Right, see, now this is bad form. This is bad form. Because Citadel One is clearly a conflict of interest because you're probably invested in Secret Network. And for that reason, you don't want your whole network, which is just a feature, you don't want your whole network to be damaged by this development, this actual positive development on Cosmos. And so you're voting no. Recommend resurfing it if the hub adopts position was going to make more sense. Yes, it would make more sense. I think you should have. I will comment on this, and I will say, if you have a vested interest in Secret, then it is imperative upon your own integrity that you abstain. You can't vote no. That's ridiculous. So for me, I would definitely vote yes on this. It does look as if this is not going to pass, but it is early doors. It's not off to a great start. There's a massive amount of abstaining. This is another one of the big problems on Cosmos. A lot of these VCs abstain, especially when it comes to stuff like this and everybody gets scared. And it's an enemy of progress, unfortunately. So for me, I'm definitely going to vote yes on this one. I believe certain other entities should be abstaining and they are voting no when it's clearly a conflict of interest that's making them vote that way. And they have not addressed that. Well, I shouldn't say clearly, possibly a conflict of interest. And they haven't addressed it. So for me, it's a yes. I like it. It's a well put together proposal. I wonder if there's any pros and cons. I'm just going to check my notes, see if I've got any pros or cons here. No. Yeah, the board proposal is for privacy, which is always a good thing. And the only thing that is missing actually is some proof that the proposer can actually get the job done. So I would like to see something like, previously I have built X, Y, or Z. Now, I don't know if that's available to see in this person's profile. No. And they've only been here for a few months, which is not really a bad thing, to be honest with you, but they don't get the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, we can't see any. No, we don't know who they are. See, because we don't know who they are, it makes it very difficult to actually vote yes. And there is no tooling to have community-based milestones or even vesting. Do we give them the benefit of the doubt? I have to change my vote. I can't in good conscience vote for this because we don't know who this person is. And they don't have, not because we need to KYC them, but we don't know what they've built previously. I'm going to change my vote live. I'm going to go with no. But I will be commenting and I will say exactly why. Okay, that rounds up this episode of DAO Watch. This is number 35. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you have seen anything that resonates with you, feel free to comment. I like compliments, of course. If your project has been featured, then definitely share it so more people can get involved in governance within your project. And yeah, keep an eye out. Follow me on Twitter at crypto_SI or on Instagram at cryptosi.eth. I've been Cryptosi. You've been awesome. This has been DAO Watch 35. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.